Okay, so today we're going to be assembling a Raskog stool from IKEA. This is one of those metal, I like to call them like the old school shop stools. It's a pretty cool little project, fairly straightforward, but as with anything from IKEA, what some people think is straightforward, other people might consider a complicated mess. So this is all the pieces. I'm going to show you what we've got. We've got our legs, we've got our stool, the seat rather. We've got a supporting frame that goes around it, and this is all of our hardware. We've got 4 larger bolts, 4 smaller bolts, 4 nylon locking nuts, the inserts for those longer bolts that go in the bottom of the stool, the tools provided by IKEA, which you can complete this project successfully with just these tools. However, with my big clumsy paws, I like to use an actual, Allen key wrench kind of thing. This thing here. And the secret ingredient, as always with all IKEA projects, blue Loctite. Which is funny because, as you can see on these bolts, IKEA in their infinite wisdom already has some blue Loctite on these. Okay, to start this project, the first thing we're going to do is we flip the seat of the stool over, and you can see that it has these little locking pins, and those correspond with, let me get that in there, these holes right here. So basically you just got to go around slowly and put all of your legs on. So you would put that on there, and then we would run the small bolt from the outside to the inside using our nylon locking nut. Go ahead and slip that into place. Kind of hand tighten that. Use a little wrench to hold it in place there, as you go ahead and tighten that up from the outside. A couple turns is all it really takes. It firms up nicely, and that's the first one on. So we'll just go ahead and continue that process all the way around. Slip that on. Small screw in from the outside. Nylon locking nut on the inside. Little wrench to hold it in place. And we just go ahead and tighten that bolt down. Just like that. That's 2. Let's go ahead and get these last 2 put on here real quick. Putting these little products together from IKEA, it's not brain surgery, but boy, they sometimes, with some of the more complicated things, you might want to have some type of engineering degree from, I don't know, MIT or something like that, one of those engineering schools. I'm not an engineer, so I wouldn't know what a good engineering school would be, but I'm just guessing, the good school everybody always talks about is at MIT, so whatever. There we go, there's number 3. And here we are. Get that out of the frame there. Number 4 is getting ready to go into place here. Again, lastly, small bolt in from the outside. Nylon locking nut from the inside. Little wrench to hold it in place. And tighten it with our Allen wrench. Allen wrench, hex key, whichever word you prefer. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know whether I'm right or wrong. Anyhow, there we go. There's our legs on. Now all we got to do is slip this frame on. So the frame goes on over top of the stool. It comes over from the seat side down. So we'll go ahead and get that set up and we'll continue on. Okay, so there's a couple important things to keep in mind at this point of this project. On your ring, you'll notice that the holes are kind of slanted. So like if you were to hold this flat, you would notice that like it looks like the bolts are coming in at an angle. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, you want them angled down. Okay, so you want to make sure that when you slip this ring over the top of the seat, which I'm going to do here in a second, that these are angled down. I'll show you how that looks. So there you go. It'll be just like that, so that those holes don't look like they're coming in from the bottom. You want them to make it look like they're coming in from the top. It's a very, very minor little thing, but easy to screw up. Okay, let's go ahead and continue on. These are our inserts for our longer bolts. So the inserts go in from the back side, and then we slide the bolt in from this side, and then tighten it up again with our hex key Allen wrench. Again, you can use the tools from IKEA. I'm just using the tools that I have on hand. Easier for my big paws, like I said. So there we go. I'm gonna walk you through this. Let's do this. So insert goes in from the back. Bolt goes in from the front. What I'm calling the front, rather. Kind of slips together like so. Now, these bolts, I'll show you on a different one, are carriage bolts. They've got a little locking square on them, so there's nothing to hold on to on this side. You just, all the tightening has to be done from the other side. So, do that. Again, since these already have Loctite on them, I don't have to add any Loctite to this project, but I did want to show you that Loctite is the secret to all IKEA items that are metal on metal. Okay, there's the first one. Keeping up with me? I know you are. Here's our little insert. Goes in from the back. Bolt goes in from the front. Slides in just like that. Allen key slips in from the other side. We spin it. Good and snug. Not super torqued. I'm not trying to flex this steel or anything like that, but good and snug. Moving on. That one slipped out of place, as you can see, but we just line it back up. Slip our insert in from the other side. Slip our bolt in from this side. There we go. Sometimes you just gotta adjust it as you go. No big deal. However, I do recommend that if you are someone who suffers from any type of heart ailments, blood pressure ailments, anything like that, I highly recommend you have somebody else assemble your IKEA furniture for you. I'm not a doctor. Now you know that I'm not a doctor and I'm not an engineer. But I'm just trying to save you a little bit of a, trip to the hospital. Because IKEA furniture will stress you out if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, lastly, we're on our last bolt here. Again, slip in from the outside into the inside there. Grab our little insert, which I almost dropped. Put that in. There we go. Again, carriage bolt, so there's nothing to hold on to on the outside there. We're just tightening that up. Good and snug from the inside. That's it. I'm going to give you a view of the finished product here. Okay, now here it is. There's our beautiful little finished IKEA Raskog stool. I know I'm mispronouncing that, so hey, feel free to leave that in the comments below too. Anyhow, there we go. If I'm not mistaken, this little stool is going to be going into the wife's art studio. I think that's what she picked it up for. But there you go. Pretty cool little deal. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it helped you if you were having any types of problems with this project. But that's it. That's all there is to it. And hopefully, I'll see you on the next video. Okay, the video's over. Get back to work. You've got stuff to do. You don't need to be hanging around here. But before you go, hey, how about hitting that thumbs up button? Or commenting below. I'd appreciate it.